This is OneWrestling.com, 24/7 wrestling news.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. I am the Mark of the Masses, the man with the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk WWE Monday Night Raw today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be filling in this week for the legend Bill Apter here at OneWrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestling Video. Ladies and gentlemen, I always say you can follow me on Twitter at Big Ray's Show. It is Slammy Awards night. I'm going to say this right now. I think the TLC pay-per-view was probably one of the best of the year. I would like to know what you guys think. This show is opinion based. I know a lot of you guys don't follow TNA. I do most of the TNA reports every single week here at OneWrestling.com. But today I am going to be doing a Monday Night Raw report, and I was really excited after this pay-per-view because I thought it was one hell of a pay-per-view. A lot of things happen at the pay-per-view. We'll make a note, and we know that AJ turned on John Cena. We don't know why. Do we find out tonight? Possibly. It's a 3-hour Raw. The Slammy Awards are going to be given out tonight. Again, this show is opinion-based. I want to know what you guys think. We're going to move on to the show, and we're going to run through this really quickly because it's a 3-hour show, and there's a lot to go over. We're going to start off with Rey Mysterio versus Damien Sandow. Now, we know Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes, Crossroads, they won the #1 contenders match at the pay-per-view. Well, Rey Mysterio actually goes over Damien Sandow with the 619 and the splash off the top rope. Very interesting to see where this leads down the line. What do you guys think, ladies and gentlemen? Do you guys like Crossroads? Do you like Damien Sandow? Do you dig Cody Rhodes? Do you think the WWE tag team division has been rejuvenated? Would you like to see some older tag teams maybe come back? Who would be a good tag team? That's one of my questions, and I would like if you could leave a comment below here on YouTube or at OneWrestling.com. I would like to know who do you think would form a really good, formidable tag team here in the WWE. We'll move on, and the first award of the night was introduced by Booker T. Sucker, and this is the Tell Me I Did Not Just See That award by Booker T. Now, can you dig that? Anyway, I'm sorry. All right, so let me just move on. So we have Booker T, who's about to introduce the Tell Me I Did Not Just See That award when the Boogeyman comes out. And Booker T obviously says, "Tell me I did not just see that." Interesting, the Boogeyman making a brief appearance for WWE TV. But the winner of, before anyone was introduced, Brad Maddox was one of the people up for the awards. And my opinion is, I thought that was kind of the Tell Me I Did Not Just See That. I thought he should have won. Giving the low blow to John Cena at the pay-per-view. I'm sorry, giving a low blow to Ryback at the pay-per-view, where CM Punk goes over Ryback, and he can fast 1, 2, 3 count, holding his legs. I thought it was very controversial. I thought he should have won, but I'm not gonna really complain, because when I saw Kofi Kingston go over the top rope at the Royal Rumble into a handstand and then walked back to the corner, feet never touching the floor, that was amazing. So Kofi Kingston actually wins. Brad Maddox actually came to the stage prior to the award even being announced, and he didn't look happy. So I wonder if Brad Maddox is going to fit into that Intercontinental title picture, but maybe not. We'll find out. Something happens a little later on in the night. But yeah, so Kofi Kingston actually wins that. Then we go into a Divas match. We have Eve versus Caitlyn. As we know, Eve defeating one of the Funkadactyls. I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. But at the pay-per-view, and doing a good job. Caitlyn goes over with a fireman's carry or firewoman's carry into a gutbuster or gut breaker or stomach breaker. She goes over for the 1, 2, 3 pin. Then Caitlyn poses with the championship belt as Eve is on the ground, and very interesting. Caitlyn will eventually be the Divas champion. This is, again, my opinion. The WWE is pushing her really hard. I think Caitlyn will hold that title soon. Now we have Comeback of the Year. And if you didn't know, your ass better call somebody. It's me. DOGG. Yes, the Road Dogg Jesse James and the Badass Billy Gunn introduce, ladies and gentlemen, the comeback of the year. Now, the winner of the comeback of the year is Jerry the King Lawler. Listen, I'm not going to argue with that one. Well deserved. Anyone who comes back from a heart attack as quickly and as fast as he did, I will give him all the props in the world, 100%. But I got to be honest with you. When DX kind of reunited, I totally marked out. But anyway, Jerry the King Lawler wins this award. I will not complain about it. I would like to know what you guys think. We're going to move on. So now we move on to a phenomenal match. And I do mean that tongue and cheek. Kofi Kingston versus Tenzai. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Kofi Kingston goes over Lord Tenzai with the Trouble in Paradise. Actually, I am going to spend just a little time on this. Ladies and gentlemen, when they brought Albert back, or Tenzai back, don't you think it would have been better if maybe they just would have called him Albert and just gave him the background story. Let us know that he went to Japan. He kind of changed his character. He's tougher, he's stronger, he's meaner. He's working stiffer now. He went to Japan. He got his drive back. But no, they tried this whole samurai thing. With a manager, he drops the manager, and now pretty much he's a laughing stock. Really sad. But anyway, we move on to the Kiss of the Year. And AJ Lee is in every single part, or she's nominated for every single, because she kissed everybody. Well, AJ Lee basically, she wins. She kissed the kiss with John Cena. And really interesting, AJ comes out, and she basically, I don't know if she's turning heel because she still has heat with Vicky Guerrero, but she basically, says that she doesn't care about the fans anymore. She doesn't care about anybody else. She only cares about herself, and she's only going to focus on herself. So her and Vicky Guerrero start going at it, and then, well, Dolph Ziggler comes in to break up the cat fight, and you know what? She says, AJ says, you know what? Basically, get out of my face. If you thought that was a kiss of the year, wait till you see this one. And she starts making out with Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph Ziggler seems to really enjoy it. Can you blame him? Dolph Ziggler is all into AJ. Vicky Guerrero gets really angry. And Vicky makes a match. It's going to be AJ and her tag team partner, Dolph Ziggler, versus John Cena and Vicky Guerrero. Later in the evening, really interesting twist. But we're going to move on to an even more riveting match. So now, in what I think the match of the night, David Otunga versus the Great Khali. All right, so the Great Khali, the Great Jobber, actually goes over David Otunga with the chop to the head. And apparently, David Otunga must have really upset someone in the office, going down to Great Khali. And apparently, Khali's going to be getting a push with his new girlfriend, Natalya. Interesting and creepy. But we'll move on. And finally, the Superstar of the Year. This is the award for the Superstar of the Year. And excuse me 1 second. Sorry. Woo! Ric Flair is back, baby. I'll be right back. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, and a surprise, to me at least, Ric Flair, woo, two-time WWE Hall of Famer, makes his comeback to announce the Superstar of the Year. I'm sorry I lost that. I'm a big Ric Flair fan. I've been following him since I was a kid. So John Cena wins the award. In a classy act, John Cena actually hands the award back over to Ric Flair. Well, Ric Flair graciously accepts the award, and of course, the best in the world comes out with Paul Heyman, and he is pissed off. Now, obviously, he has the knee surgery, so he's still on crutches, and they're going back and forth with Ric Flair. And let's be honest, guys, if this wasn't part of the storyline, I don't know. I can't see the WWE Universe voting on John Cena as the Superstar of the Year when obviously CM Punk is definitely the Superstar of the Year. This is my opinion. I would like to know what you guys think. Who do you think is the Superstar of the Year? Was it CM Punk? Was it John Cena? Was it Ryback? Well, again, my opinion. But CM Punk, they're going back and forth, and CM Punk starts talking about baggage, and before he can get into Ric Flair's personal life, Ric Flair does what we say to do with every single bully. Make fun of yourself before anyone can make fun of you. He says, that, look, what are you going to make fun of? My baggage? You mean my 4 ex-wives? Which is hilarious. So they start going back and forth. And then finally, CM Punk challenges Ric Flair and says he could beat him with one leg. Ric Flair accepts, goes to the ring. Very, 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 very interesting situation here. Ric Flair, first time back in the WWE ring in years after being in TNA for a long time. And basically, CM Punk attacks Ric Flair with the cane. Oh, I'm not the cane, the crutches. And Ric Flair goes down, but then Ric Flair, boop, with a poke to the eye, gets the advantage on CM Punk, and then puts the figure 4 leg lock on Paul Heyman. Well, while this is all going on, the Sheild decide to come down the ring, the Sheild, and they come down slowly from the crowd. And I don't know if it's just me, guys. I've been noticing a pattern here in WWE TV the last couple of weeks, ever since Linda McMahon lost her seat, or her attempt at the Senate seat, and I see a little edgier programming, which I like. A little more edge to the program. I would like to know what you guys think. I would like to know if you think I'm right on track with that, or it's just a figment of my imagination. But I see it turning. I see something happening with the WWE, and I like it. I love the fact that they're starting to emphasize a lot of the young talent. Really cool. That's how a wrestling business stays, keeps going on. But anyway, so they come into the ring, and all hell, no pun intended, breaks loose. Freaking Hell No gets involved. Everybody's going crazy. They attack Ric Flair. That being the Sheild attacks Ric Flair. They attack Kane. Finally, feed me more. Ryback comes down the aisle, and Ryback just cleans house. Kane gets up. Everybody beats the living crap out of these guys. Very, very interesting. I'm really, really liking the Sheild. I love their dynamic. I love the fact they have the talker, they have the quiet guy, and then they have the big monster. I am really, really happy with these guys. I would like to know what you guys think of the Sheild. I think they're going to be a really good faction. Now, the question is, are there more members? NWO style, maybe? Well, they say they're not the NWO, but I wouldn't be surprised if there will be a couple of more members joining them down the line. Well, we will move on, and we go to the back, and we see Ric Flair, Team Hell No, get into a yes, no, woo battle. Finally, Ron Simmons comes in and says, damn, let's move on. In another fantastic, amazing match, Brodus Clay goes over JTG in basically a squash match, hits him with the big splash. Well, actually, the rhinoceros-like headbutt to the big splash gets the win over JTG. Actually, the matches themselves really didn't take precedence. It was actually what was going on. It was Slammy night. So anyway, we have the LOL, laugh out loud, moment of the year, introduced by Santino Marella and Lord Tensai, who comes out with a friggin' ice pack. It looks like a unicorn who got slapped in the face and the horn kind of... Anyway, an ice pack strapped to his head. And the funniest line of the night is when Santino Marella says, do you know what the Tensai means in Japanese? It means a Fat Albert. Yo, I almost freaking lost it. Very, very, very funny. Apparently, The Rock wins for tossing all of the apparel of John Cena into the river, but I don't think that was the funniest moment. Honestly, I think Team Hell No, Their stuff was genius this year. Really, really funny. As a matter of fact, Daniel Bryan comes out and he protests with a no, 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 and his tag team partner Kane had to come down and actually pick him up and drag him and actually pick him up like a baby and carry him outside. Very interesting. So now we have the second half of the one contenders and Crossroads. Cody Rhodes versus Sin Cara, and which was actually a pretty good match. Cody Rhodes goes over Sin Cara with the mustache. I'm sorry, with the Crossroads. I just, is it me or I just can't stop looking at the guy's mustache. Well, anyway, so Cody Rhodes goes over with the mustache with the Crossroads, and they celebrate. Anyway, so we move on to the hashtag moment of the year, and WOOOO, Zack Ryder and the beautiful Layla introduced the winner of this award, and very simply, the winner was hashtag Feed Me More. Okay, very good. We move on, and we have the Big Show. The Big Show comes to the ring, and he puts himself over. Now, in the pay-per-view, Big Show won the chairs match by pulling out one of the biggest chairs I think I have ever seen in the history of my life on this earth or any other planet. A very big chair, taking Sheamus out. Sheamus comes down to the ring, and Sheamus basically extends a hand of gratitude, or not gratitude, but respect, saying, you know what, you were the better man, you win. And Big Show shakes his hand. It's not over. And let me look at my notes here. Big Show says, get out of my ring, you potato-eating Irishman. Continues to call him white and pasty, and so on and so forth. Well, it is what it is. Sheamus attacks Big Show, beats the living crap out of him, then hits Big Show with that giant Big Show chair, taking the Big Show out. Well, in what would have been an awesome moment for Raw, Dolph Ziggler comes to cash in the Money in the Bank. But you can't see me. John Cena, that guy back there, John Cena breaks up or spoils the party, attacking Dolph Ziggler. So, no cash in today. Oh well. Anyway, we will move on. And we see one of the greatest factions in wrestling history. It's tongue-in-cheek. 3MB. And they are fighting Alberto Del Rio, The Miz, and a surprise guest. I don't know where the hell they pulled out that match at the pay-per-view. Is Del Rio turning face? I don't know. Anyway, well, Tommy Dreamer makes a comeback, and Tommy Dreamer, obviously, you know, Raw is in Philadelphia, and it was actually pretty cool. The fans were hot. They were, you know, EC dubbed out. You know, you had Paul Heyman there. It was pretty cool. And Tommy Dreamer actually gets the win after, and I have to mention this, at the pay-per-view, Brooklyn's best, the Brooklyn Brawler. You guys know I'm from New York. The Brooklyn Brawler gets the win of the pay-per-view. Tommy Dreamer goes over with the Spike DDT. Tommy Dreamer, you know, again, being in Philadelphia, the fans were really hot. Really cool to see Tommy back in a weird match. But anyway, we'll move on. And we have the newcomer of the year. Now, technically, you know, look, they give the newcomer of the year to Ryback. And technically, he's not a newcomer. I mean, he's been in the WWE, technically, since I think it was season 2 of Tough Enough. And he was, you know, he was with CM Punk in the Nexus. And, well, anyway, I honestly think Antonio Cesaro should have won the award. Again, my opinion. I would like to know what you guys think. But he wins the newcomer of the year. And then he quotes the late, great Owen Hart and saying, enough is enough. It's time for a change. And he says he is that change. What is he talking about? Well, we move on, and it's a really good match. It's between Antonio Cesaro and Ryback. Now, again, Antonio Cesaro, the guy who I think should have won the newcomer of the year, versus Ryback, the veteran. And Ryback actually ends up beating the living crap out of Cesaro most of the match. So much so that Cesaro actually ends up just walking out of the ring and taking his title with him. And Ryback gets the win via count out, but it's a good way. The WWE kind of booked this match well because and they're trying to really build Antonio Cesaro, and at the same time they're trying to keep Ryback as a monster. So, you know, Antonio Cesaro technically doesn't really lose the match. He doesn't get pinned. So, you know, he goes out relatively strong. Ryback shows he's Ryback. And we move on. We have Mean Gene Okerlund, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and good old Jim Ross introducing the match of the year. And I am not going to complain about this one at all. Match of the year, Triple H versus The Undertaker, period. Good call by the WWE. I'm sorry, the WWE Universe. I would like to know what your match of the year is. Whether it's WWE, ROH, TNA, let me know. Leave a comment below here on YouTube or at OneWrestling.com. So we're going to move on to the main event of the evening, and we have AJ, who asked that she asked for a ladder to be brought into the ring, and she climbs a ladder, and she's cutting a promo basically stating, well, not stating, but she's going to say, it looks like she's about to spill the beans as to why she turned on John Cena. And then, of course, Vicky Guerrero says, "Excuse me," breaks up the mess. We get into the match. Now, the match, believe it or not, is not the important thing. It's what happens after the match. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't follow NXT, which, like I do, maybe you should start, because I see the WWE is starting to focus in on a lot of the young talent, and they're starting to bring the talent up. And during the match, technically John Cena and Vicky win via DQ, but AJ Lee brings Big E Langston, a giant of a man, into the ring, and he decimates John Cena. I am really interested to see what's going to happen next week. Ladies and gentlemen, look out for my TNA review and recap this week. Again, I'm filling in for good old Bill Apter, who's taking a little vacation. Well deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this after every video. I would do this for a living, but if I can't, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me here at OneWrestling.com or YouTube/OneWrestlingVideo. You can follow me on Twitter at Big Ray Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you later this week. Peace.